Here it is, the thing you've all been asking for. The blueprint for a whole week's meals for a family of 4. I'm talking breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 21 meals in total, 84 servings. So the key here is one really big shop, a Sunday meal prep, a Wednesday mini meal prep, and making sure we use every single thing. I spent only $147.93. You guys have asked a lot for a blueprint for something like this. Here it is. Life can be a struggle, but a good meal doesn't have to be. We can make creative, nutritious, and inventive dishes that won't break the bank. Welcome to Struggle Meals. There's a couple things that we have to do to make sure that this works across the whole week. The first is planning out in advance. This way, we know we're gonna use all the groceries across multiple recipes. Then we've gotta prep our own ingredients. If someone else is cooking for you, you're losing money. And we've gotta make sure that we have no waste, so we can repurpose leftovers into completely reimagined dishes. You'll never get bored of it. Sunday, we meal prep to make things easier throughout the week. So we take some time right now. Part of the cost savings comes from doing the work yourself. First, I'm gonna braise a brisket for Sunday night dinner, and the leftovers are gonna stretch across 2 other meals. While that's in the oven, cook a pot of beans. Boil a dozen eggs and then immediately drop them into an ice bath. And let's also cook a pot of rice. It only takes a few minutes to get all this going, and you have a huge head start on the week. I tossed some potatoes and carrots in the brisket for the last hour of cooking, and now I've got a full meal for Sunday night dinner. So that's it, I've got dinner on the table for tonight. I've got meals prepped for the next few days. Let's work on some breakfasts. So we're gonna have overnight oats for breakfast, and this is a perfect opportunity to get the dry ingredients for multiple breakfasts ready now. So I've got 3 containers here, and I am making breakfast for 3 different days. 4 servings each. These are the rolled oats that I'm using here. I got these in the bulk section. They're totally plain. I'm flavoring them today with cinnamon and sugar. Brown sugar's got a little more depth than the ultra refined stuff. All right, here comes some cinnamon sugar. See what's going on here? Mix this around. The night before I want to eat these, that's when I'm gonna soak them. That's when they're gonna become the overnight oats. Right now, they're completely dormant. This is the one I'm gonna have tomorrow morning. So let's get some yogurt. And let's get some milk. Almond milk would work great, coconut milk, soy milk. So now, imagine if I had done that with the other ones, I'd have super soggy oats 3 days down the line when I have this for breakfast. Not yet oats. Okay, so these are gonna hang out in the fridge. The oats overnight are gonna absorb all that yogurt and milk. They're gonna become more plump, and then I'm just gonna add fresh fruit. That's it. It's a quick, easy, nutritious breakfast that I don't have to think too much about. The last part of the meal prep is that I made these peanut butter banana muffins, and they are gonna be our breakfast alternates between the overnight oats. So imagine, we got the rolled oats, muffins, oats, muffins, oats, muffins, French toast. These with a little bit of fruit in the morning, it's like perfect. Okay, so we've prepped our brisket, our eggs, our beans, our rice, and all of our breakfasts. Sunday meal prep is done. We're ready for the week. Use leftover brisket for sandwiches for lunch on Monday. And then you can make a slaw real quick. And if you make a double slaw, then we can use it in other dishes. Use some of the beans for a big batch chili for Monday night dinner. And then add in some of the rice and add in some of your leftover slaw. Dinner. For Tuesday lunch, we're having egg salad. Remember all those eggs we boiled on Sunday? Start using them. On Tuesday, we're gonna use up the rest of the brisket for a fajita dinner. And we'll use that leftover rice also. It's a perfect way to use it up with a different flavor profile. It's Wednesday, we're gonna make a veggie burger. We're gonna use our leftover chili here and the rest of our rice. And those are the 2 main ingredients for the perfect patty. So here is the rest of our chili. If it's looking like it's got a lot of moisture, you're gonna wanna drain that off as best you can. Moisture in a veggie burger is good up to a point, but you also want it to bind together. And that's why the leftover rice is really a perfect accompaniment, because it's like a natural little sponge. Let's get some breadcrumbs in here. This really binds the whole thing together. And an egg. And finally, some cheddar cheese. Here's a simple veggie burger blueprint if you want to make your own. You just need a bean, you need a grain, and you need a binder. Work it out. Okay, so we got our egg in here, and this is really gonna be the moment where we see if we need more dryness or more binder. I'm gonna put some more breadcrumbs. They're still pretty wet. Not only are veggie burgers delicious, but this is a really nice way to use some leftovers so that you don't feel bored with them, so they taste a little bit different. So keep in mind about what you're using. If your leftovers had a bunch of seasoning, mine did, I'm not gonna add any salt. But if you're just using like regular cooked plain beans, you're gonna wanna season. So these are formed. A quick little trip to the freezer is gonna help solidify them so that when I work them with a spatula, they stay as veggie burger patties. That is, after all, what we made. I'm hypnotized by this week's grocery bill. The freezer helps sort of make them a little more schlaggy, so they will stay together, but you still have to be delicate. So we get the lettuce leaf on the bottom here, and this creates a little impermeable barrier so that our veggie burger, all the juices from it, don't get through to the bottom and make this bun soggy and inoperable. There's nothing I hate more than an inoperable hamburger bun. So because these are so delicate, really the key is to leave them alone. Put them on really gently, let them do their thing, take a peek, flip it over. Don't futz too much though. Gorgeous. Really, really gorgeous. Not only is cheese a delicious dairy product that I love very, very much, but it's acting as a glue here. As it melts over top, it will keep it together. It's like lots of different binders working together. It's the breadcrumb, working with the egg, working with the cheese on the inside and the cheese on the top. Gotta love it. Let's get a gorgeous center-cut piece of tomato. Beautiful. And this can sit right on top of the lettuce. Ah, who knew that a chili bean dinner could be turned into a delicious and nutritious veggie burger, which is looking pretty fantastic right now. Looking pretty good. There's just moisture dripping out the bottom. Absolutely delicious. We have a delicious veggie burger here that was crafted out of the transformation of leftovers. I'm talking about our chili, I'm talking about our rice. So much better in this new vehicle, don't you think? Let's see what other dishes we can transform our leftovers into. It's time for our mini midweek meal prep. Wednesday dinner is a perfect time to meal prep for the second half of the week. Roasting chicken and veggies is a great way to get dinner on the table real quick and a wonderful opportunity to cook more food than you need so you can use the leftovers for lunches later in the week. Since we're already cooking, it only takes seconds to get a pot of barley going, and we can use the leftovers for meals later in the week. Use the rest of the eggs, the barley you just cooked, and your leftover veggies, and you've got a really healthy, easy barley bowl for Thursday lunch. Last night, I roasted some cauliflower with my chicken and veg, and now I've got a barley, tomato, cauliflower, cheesy casserole that comes together in seconds, and Thursday dinner is completely out of my mind. Use that sheet pan chicken and transform it into a chicken salad for Friday lunch. You did it. You made it through the work week. And nothing's better than a big bowl of spaghetti on a Friday night with the family. Plus, it comes together so quickly. It's Saturday. It's time to eat something. So I say panzanella salad. Panzanella salad is just a bread salad, and I happen to have garlic bread from last night's delicious spaghetti dinner left over. So we'll cut up the garlic bread into little croutons, and we'll make a wonderful panzanella and bean salad. It's gonna have everything that one looks for in a balanced meal. All right, so I kind of have a step done for me because this is garlic bread, so it already has a whole bunch of butter and oil and garlic on it. So I don't need to do anything. I'm just gonna put them in the oven and toast them. But if you're using straight up stale bread, you might wanna toss them in some olive oil, maybe a little bit of salt. Maybe you've got onion or garlic powder. Maybe you don't. It's up to you. In the oven. The bell peppers were on sale this week, so I bought them, I incorporated them into my meal plan, and I used them across 3 meals. That's the key here. You've got to incorporate things that are on sale. Just because I used a bell pepper doesn't mean that it's affordable at the time of year and place that you are. Figure out the swap that's gonna work. We've got the cucumber, trying to go about the same size as the croutons. Very nice. Cherry tomatoes, I'm just gonna put them in whole. Let's have our onion follow suit here. cut it in half, take off the end, take off the other end. Uh-oh, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna go this way, and I'm gonna go like this. So now all of these will break up. So here are some beans. This is gonna give us protein and a really, really heartiness. Sometimes after a long week, it's really nice to have something that's fresh and easy to make. And because this is so hearty with the bread and the beans and all these vegetables, the dressing can be extra light. We don't need to add more creaminess here. So I really think the way to go is just with a lemon oil vinaigrette. So there we go. We've got our lemon juice. I would say double the amount of olive oil. Great time to use your olive oil because this is such a simple and light vinaigrette. The flavors really come out. And I think that extra virgin olive oil or any kind of olive oil mixed with the lemon, really, really nice. Now these two, they're not the best of friends. Even if I add salt, which you should do, they're still not the best friends because oil and water, they don't go together. So we're gonna put honey in there to help make a dressing happen. Struggle Whisk 45,000. Look at that. So creamy and wonderful. Oh yeah. We got a really nice dressing. We've got a really nice chunky salad over here, and we're gonna add our croutons to it. This is something you're thinking about making in advance. I do the dressing at the bottom with the cherry tomatoes uncut at the bottom, and then build everything on top of it. And that'll keep them all separate until you're ready to shake it up. Put some pepper on here, a little more salt while I'm tossing it. I'm going from the bottom up. That is the method that I use here. That's it, baby. Leftovers, once again, transformed into something completely different. Today, it's panzanella salad, one of my favorite uses for leftover bread. Here we go. It is time to eat the panzanella salad of Saturday. The Saturday panzanellas, they're the best ones. Going in for some basil, because I have it. Give it a little slap. Ooh, makes the aroma come out. And then I'm just gonna tear it by hand. The panzanella salad is fantastic. I got so many fresh vegetables in here, my cucumbers, my peppers, I got my cherry tomatoes, and such a light vinaigrette. But this is not a joke. This is not like a hold me over salad. This is a full meal, and that's because of the leftovers. It's because of the beans, it's because of the crusty bread that we cut up into croutons. Oh. Very delicious. Panzanella for president. It's Saturday and I'm cleaning out my fridge, making stuffed peppers. That's right, I'm using peppers again. Remember, they were on sale. I take advantage of sales. You should too. Stuffed peppers can be really fussy, but I'm just gonna go super easy today. In half, little boat, fill it up, bake it, tiny side salad with celery. It's perfect. Nice, so pretty. So I'm just coming in, getting these veins out, getting rid of the seeds. So the great thing about stuffed peppers is you could really use anything. It could be ground meat, it could be leftover sausage, it could be all vegetables, it could be breadcrumb based. For me, today, it's the leftover barley, cheese, and tomato casserole with cauliflower, and the rest of my beans. So this gets a little mix of love. So I'm taking these out, I'm packing it in real tight, I'm covering it with a piece of cheese. If you had some leftover hamburgers, get rid of the bun, maybe make croutons out of it. Put the meat in here, no problem at all. Put leftover pasta in here. Put leftover rice in here. Shepherd's pie, mashed potatoes, turkey, chicken, broccoli stuffed peppers, mac and cheese stuffed peppers, risotto stuffed peppers, bacon stuffed peppers. You get my point? Endlessly versatile. All right, these are going into the oven. I'm melting the cheese. I'm waiting for everything to get warm. Maybe the peppers get a little shrivelly. All these things are good. So while our peppers are warming up and the cheese is melting and getting all bubbly and wonderful, we're gonna make a quick little side salad with the stuff we still have from our big shop. We'll start with the dressing. Cutting to the side of the core this time. There we go. A little bit of lemon. Very nice. Putting a little bit, some olive oil in here with our lemon. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. All right, just to switch it up a little bit, I'm gonna use a packet of mayo because I have it. It could be mustard, it could be hot sauce, it could be whatever you've got. That'll thicken up and make our dressing nice and creamy. Whisking it up. Very nice, give it a taste. Creamy, delicious, zingy. Anytime you're making a salad, for example, for work, if you put the dressing at the bottom, and then something like whole cherry tomatoes. Everything above this is now protected from the dressing, as long as gravity keeps working. And when you're ready to eat it, then you can toss it and you won't have a soggy salad. So let's get some celery in here. This is the last little bit from the stalk that we bought. And if you save the end of the celery, it can actually regrow into leaves. All right, some romaine lettuce. I'm just gonna shred it. Very, very nice. All right, we got our salad, we got our plate. Let's get our peppers. Beautiful. Whoa, bad idea. Gonna use a utensil this time. Ooh, fantastical. Very, very hot. And now, we've got to dress our salad. How do we do that? We come from the bottom up. Shaka, 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 shaka. Salad coming in. Very nice. It's hearty, it's healthy, it's satisfying, and it used all the stuff we bought, so it's affordable. Oh, it stays together pretty well, I have to say. I've done it again. This is a really good-looking Saturday night dinner. To think that I shopped 6 days ago and I'm still making new flavors is mind-boggling to me. It's all about the pepper being the vehicle for our leftovers. The possibilities of what you can put inside of a pepper, they truly are endless. And when this is all done, you're gonna feel so proud of yourself. But don't pat yourself on the back yet. You still have 2 more meals to make, and guess what? There are no repeats, and they are delicious. Using the last of the bread, we're gonna make Sunday French toast. It's perfect. It's Sunday lunch and my groceries have carried me all the way through the week. All I have left are 5 eggs and some spaghetti. That means spaghetti frittata. The Italians actually do this. They call it timbalo, so I know it's okay. I'm not gonna get in trouble, and you won't either. But if it's not spaghetti, you can put anything you want in there. That's the beauty of a frittata. It's the original leftover recreation vehicle. All right, so we'll start with some eggs. I've always been a fan of cracking the egg on a flatter surface. I feel like when you do this, like you make many, many shards in your egg, multiple taps on a sharp edge. I feel like that's how shell gets inside of your bowl. But if you do like a single whack on a flat surface, it tends to come apart a lot nicer. And there's not as nearly as many shards, you see? The last bit of milk, this really stretched us every morning. Now, it's gonna increase the liquidity of our eggs. And some parm. This is good because this is gonna add flavor to the dish. It melts really, really nicely, and it's sort of a binder. Boom, 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 right to the end of the Parmesan. And you know what? This is not useless. In fact, it's a flavor bomb. I wrap these up, I stick them in my freezer, and I drop them into soups and stews and bean dishes, and I get a pop of flavor for $0. You should too. Struggle whisk, 7,500. Juicy. Spaghetti going in. This could really be any style of pasta, any shape of pasta. Because we have the milk in there, it's gonna ensure the egg gets between every single piece of pasta. I'm mixing this up, and then I'm gonna put it into my hot pan. I gotta turn my pan on. Here we go, oil. Side note, if you don't have any eggs, like this, pasta right in there, fried pasta, very tasty. I do it all the time. Extra salt, so yummy. Okay, just give it a little stir, move it all around. Maybe take some outsides and bring them in a little bit. So by definition, a frittata is started on the stove and finished in the oven. So you might want to turn on your oven. This eliminates the often very scary step that the Spanish do of flipping out of the pan. You could totally do it. It's a little bit frightening. The oven's easier. What we're looking for right now is the egg to begin to cook and harden a little bit so there's some structure here along the bottom. If you have like a really thin spatula, like you can kind of check around the edges, make sure it's not sticking. This is the Struggle Spatula 3000. Okay, that's looking really good. We got a bubbly edge, the egg has begun to solidify, and we can throw this into the oven. Frittatas in the oven, what you're looking for is for a knife to go in and pull out clean so that you know the egg is cooked. And I've got a completely different meal made out of our Friday night spaghetti. Once again, something new. Very pleased. It's like a pizza pie spaghetti egg. I love it. Cutting in, Nice big piece. Al dente. That's delicious. And the best part is we used all of our groceries across the whole week. Every single one of them. And there were no repeat dishes because leftovers were reformed, rebirthed, and made into other things, like this frittata. We did it. We made 21 meals across a whole week for 4 people for $147.93. It's all about sticking to the plan, having a single grocery list, and prepping for the week. This episode was a little different for both of us. It's definitely a little more advanced because it requires a lot of planning. It's not just a single dish. It's a little bit more of a commitment. If you're feeling pretty comfortable in the kitchen, use this plan as a blueprint. Go with what's in season and what's affordable in your area, in your time of the year, and plan it out. It's gonna work out great. If you're feeling like it might be a little bit overwhelming, just follow what I did to the T. You'll use all the ingredients and you'll have wonderful meals 3 times a day for 4 people for a week. Welcome to Frankie's Corner, where I answer your questions. This is a really great question, Cheryl, and it's a multi-part answer. 5 days is kind of like the upper limit. It's really all about planning. If you're dating some painter's tape, a little bit of marker, and you date everything that's on there, I think you'll be much better at getting through it. When you're cooking a whole bunch of stuff and you know you're not gonna eat all of it and you don't really wanna have the same thing in 4 or 5 days, I would go straight into the freezer with it. That's a much better place for the stuff to live for a longer period of time. And if you're at like that 5-day limit in the fridge, I would consider making whatever it is that you're holding as a secondary supporting item to a different dish.